Dear children, today we are going to start fourth chapter of Vistas, The Enemy by Pearl S. Buck. This story is set during the Second World War. A Japanese doctor finds an American POW at his doorstep. POW means prisoner of war. Then he is in a dilemma, confusion, that being a doctor, should he save the wounded man? Or being a Japanese, should he hand over the enemy to the army? Let me tell you something about the author of this chapter, Pearl S. Buck. Pearl Sidenstricker Buck was an American writer and novelist. She had a Chinese name, Sai Zhengzhu, as she spent her childhood in China. Being the daughter of missionaries, she was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in 1932 and the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1938. Now, let's begin with the chapter. The writer introduces the main character of the story, Dr. Sadao Hoki. Dr. Sadao's house was situated on the coast of Japan. He had been living there since his childhood. The house had a low height and was made of stone. It was set upon the rocky beach, which had a boundary line made with pine trees that were tilted towards one side. When Dr. Sadao was a child, he would climb up the pine trees. On his visits to the South Seas, he would see men do so in order to get coconuts from the trees. He would accompany his father to the islands of the South Seas often. His father would point towards the island and would say that those were the stepping stones towards the future of Japan. Dr. Sadao would question him childishly that where would they reach from those islands? His father would reply that it was not known as it depended on the future. The future had no limits. It depended on mankind how it shaped its future. Sadao retained all the things that his father would tell him as a child. His father never played or joked with him. They shared a mature relation, and his father underwent a lot of hardships to bring him up. Sadao knew that his father was concerned about his education. He was sent to America at the age of 22 to study surgery and medicine. He returned at the age of 30. Before dying, Sadao's father saw Sadao become famous, not only as a surgeon but also as a scientist. Sadao was on his way to discover a treatment for wounds which would make them absolutely clean. So, he was not sent abroad with the armed forces as a doctor. Also, he was retained in Japan because the old general was suffering from an ailment which needed to be operated upon in case of an emergency. The writer describes the scene outside Dr. Sadao's house as the days were unusually warm and the sea waves were cold. The nights became foggy. Dr. Sadao saw the boundary of a nearby island became invisible gradually as it got covered in the mist. Slowly, the mist was coming closer to him. Soon there would be mist all around his house. At that time, he would go back into the house to his wife Hannah, who was waiting for him along with their two children. Before Sadao could go inside, the door was opened and his wife looked out for him. She was wearing a dark blue colored gown over her dress. She lovingly crossed her arm, smiled at him, remained silent, and stood by him. They had met in America. Sadao knew that his father would marry him to a Japanese girl only, and so he ensured this before falling in love with her. Sadao considered himself to be lucky to have accidentally met her at an American professor's house. He wondered that had he not met her, he would not have got a wife all his life. He thought that the professor and his wife were kind, as they were keen to help foreign students. He was glad that they had accepted this kindness and went to their house, because it was there that he had met Hannah. Sadao would often tell Hannah that it was a mere coincidence that he went to the professor's house that night, as the rooms in his house were small. The food was not good, and the professor's wife was very talkative. If he had not gone there that night, he would not have met Hannah. At that time, Hannah was a new student. Sadao had thought that he would love her if at all it would be possible for him. Sadao and Hannah loved each other even after having 2 children. After many years of marriage, they had not married in a haste in America. Rather, they returned to Japan, sought permission from their parents, and then got married in a traditional Japanese ceremony. They had discussed all the details before the wedding. They were happy with each other. Hannah rested her cheek against Sadao's arm with affection. That moment they saw a figure appear out of the mist. It appeared black in color due to the mist in the air. The outline of a man's body was visible in the mist. He walked unsteadily with his arms above the head. It was an indication that he was a prisoner. The man walked a few steps and then disappeared in the mist. Upon seeing the figure, Hannah reacted by asking that, "Who was that?" She took her arm out of Sadao's arm, and both of them bent forward over the railing of the veranda to have a closer look at the man. They saw him again. He was crawling on his hands and knees. Then he fell on his face and kept on lying there. Probably he had fainted. As the area had villages full of fishermen, Sadao said that probably it was a fisherman who had been washed off his boat. He ran to help him. Hannah followed him. The loose sleeves of her houri flew as she ran. This part of the coast was not inhabited, as it had dangerous rocks on it. As the rocks were pointed, the man could be badly injured, although he had managed to come through them. As the Japanese couple saw the man, they realized that he was badly injured. The sand on which he lay had blood stains on one side, which indicated that he was wounded. Now Sadao said that the man was wounded. He approached the man who lay motionless with his face buried in the sand. An old cap hung on his head. It was soaked with the sea water. His dress was also wet and torn. Sadao turned the man's head. As they saw the face, Hannah spoke confidently that he was a white, that is, an American. The injured man was an American. As his cap fell off, they saw his wet, yellow-colored hair, which had not been cut for a long time. He was young. His face had such marks which indicated that he had been tortured. He had a rough, unkempt, yellow-colored beard. As he had fainted, he did not know of the presence of Sadao and Hannah. Now, being a doctor, he moved his trained fingers around the man's back to search for the wound. He felt blood oozing out of a wound in the lower part of his back. It was a gunshot. The man had been injured by a few days ago. He had not got any medical help to treat the wound, as he had himself used some black colored powdery substance on it. The sharp rocks on the shore had pierced it, and so it was bleeding profusely. Hannah was concerned that the man was injured and said in a low voice that he was bleeding. The mist had intensified now. The three of them could not be spotted by anyone there. Moreover, the fishermen and the rag pickers did not visit the place at that time of the day. So, rest of the part we will do in our next class. Thank you.